Residents in the North Woods subdivision in Mayflower are being told to leave after a petroleum line sprung a leak. But how that leak happened is a bit of a mystery tonight. Channel 7's Jeanette Reyes live again at the scene with the very latest for us. Jeanette.
Scott and Beth, I'm right out here on exit 135 in Mayflower near the Northwood subdivision. As you can see behind me, there's a lot going on. You have a lot of people out here working hard to contain this oil spill. It's very large and the smell, like I said before, is very strong. We're told it's moving very quickly, and the primary goal right now is to keep it from going into Lake Conway. We don't know at this point, this is from the Game and Fish Commission, how likely that is, but it is definitely a potential problem that they're trying to prevent here. We don't know how this oil spill started or how big it is. We're just told that it is large and that it is moving very quickly. Of course, one of the questions being asked is what is the danger of this oil spill? It's surrounding a lot of homes, but we don't know what the potential risk is, besides the fact that it is, of course, an inconvenience. We'll try to have some answers for you about the likelihood, the risks that this poses for some of the residents here, as well as Lake Conway, coming up at 6. Back to you.
Hundreds of residents showed up at a press conference today asking questions that local and Exxon officials struggled to answer. Our Jeanette Reyes attended that meeting and has more on what residents want to know right now. Jeanette.
Aaron, Mayflower residents filled up the seats at Mayflower High School demanding answers and explanations that unfortunately never came. Dozens of homeowners and residents are staying with relatives and hotels until this big mess is cleaned up. But unfortunately, the big problem is that they were initially told it would take a couple of days. Now they're being told something completely different. Today they're hearing at least a week. The area largely impacted was Starlight Road and Shade Tree Lane. These 22 homes in those areas were evacuated after nearly 10,000 barrels of oil spilled in the area. The question, like you said now, is when can they get back in? One resident said he just wants a straight answer.
We're getting contradictory answers. When we initially were evacuated, we were told pack for 2 days, it'll be cleared. Then we were told just this morning that to pack for at least a week.
I think they did a great job, honestly. I mean, we were notified immediately to be evacuated. Exxon has been, right there on point as far as accommodations.
We really want to be transparent with the community and have one clear, concise message. So we will work on that.
And Exxon is launching a full investigation to find out what caused this pipeline to burst and can it happen again. They have not yet started that investigation. They will shortly, and they will let us know, and we will let our viewers know as soon as they find that out. Back to you, Aaron.
And Jeanette, obviously we can't show this, we can't see it, but since you're out there, what about the fumes? Can you smell the oil?
It's still very strong, especially near this neighborhood. And of course, that's something that's been a little bit of an inconvenience to some of these residents. Some complained about it irritating them because of asthma issues that they may have. But some of the officials here say it shouldn't be a concern, but they are advising people to not stay in their homes for very long if they want to grab something. So pretty much it's go in, grab what you need to get, and get out as soon as possible. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Jeanette.
This is a much better status than before when we had freestanding oil, where the oil is puddled up.
It's a sign that progress is being made. Friday afternoon, well over 10,000 barrels of oil came spewing out of a ruptured Exxon pipeline, covering the streets and backyards of this Mayflower neighborhood.
The next step is going to be a power washing. More than likely, I think we're doing some testing with some power washes right now, and the techniques involved there.
This drain right here leads directly to Lake Conway, one of the country's largest man-made lakes. Stopping this potential disaster is what officials say was one of their biggest accomplishments.
We're approximately a mile from Lake Conway, or at least from the cove, and we were able to...
So you had to act pretty quickly.
We did.
But there's still the most important accomplishment to be made, getting people back home. Although nearly 12,000 barrels of oil and water have been vacuumed so far, some backyards like this one are a much more challenging project to take on.
The surface is still wet with oil, but the volume of oil is off the street. Now that's separate from the oil that's in the yards of a few of our fine residents.
This doesn't look that bad, so I'm curious, what danger or health risk does it pose? Why can't people come in?
Well, first off, we've got to get that up. Although it looks good for a street, we don't want that on them.
So when can residents go back home?
It would be impossible to timeline how long it's going to take to pressure wash a street.